I think that people who enter the wildlife field very often have a basic passion that comes out of some early childhood experiences. Maybe they just love animals, as I did, and maybe they were moved by tales of adventures of people who went off to live in the wild. That whole idea of the Garden of Eden that we came from is something pretty basic to humanity, I think. I think humanity is really attached to wildlife and wild places. And for some lucky few people, it becomes a reality. That's what happened to me. And elephants were the particular animal that I became hooked on. The technology that we're using for our detailed radio tracking is based on the Global Positioning System, which is the satellite complex put up by the Americans, originally for military purposes but now incredibly widely used. So there are small receivers that each elephant carries in a collar around the neck. In here there's the antenna. So the information comes from the satellite and it gets stored on a little chip about the position of that elephant every hour. And then we have another technology, which is the mobile cell telephone, GSM technology. And that takes the information from the chip and every hour tries to get through on the telephone network to transmit to our central computer. We have a central database where all the information gets stored. The next bit that's interesting is the software, because we're able now almost simultaneously to get the position of an elephant and to display it on a computer. That can be read by authorized people. And it builds up a huge picture where we can make moving maps that show how the elephants move. And these can be 3D maps, and now they're so sophisticated that you can fly around the landscape on a computer looking at the elephants moving simultaneously. Save the Elephants' mission is to secure a future for the elephants. And the way we do that is by studying their intelligence and their behavior, trying to protect both the elephant's way of life and the beautiful places that it inhabits. It's not really changed very much. We believe that the key is to find an accommodation with man by interesting man in the animal for its own sake. The future of all wildlife is bound up with our own species, and we, at the same moment, constitute the greatest threat and the greatest hope for survival. It's only really by involving human beings at all levels that we can find a way forward. We do this both by seeking an international constituency for elephants and also by getting people involved at the grassroots. And at the grassroots, what I mean is that we actually employ people locally from the pastoral tribes that live around to get involved in understanding elephants, to get involved in the research, to not only become experts themselves, but to spread the message back to the communities that they come from. The Samburus who inhabit this wild and beautiful part of northern Kenya, where the elephants live, are a very interesting people. They're pastoralists and very traditional. They wear very colourful clothes. They're a warrior tribe. But in many ways they're very straightforward people. Highly intelligent, but yet have not for many years embraced education. That's now changing. Now the young Samburus and the old people are encouraging children to get educated, but still not to give up their old ways. They're extremely tough, resourceful people who blend into the landscape. I'd like to see them become the future experts in elephants and other wildlife. After all, here they are, living as children, bringing up their cattle, seeing wildlife in a way that few people in the world ever do. This most extraordinary coexistence of wildlife and people that actually happens in this part of Kenya, day to day, month to month, year to year. It's something that is terribly promising as a raw material for a future coexistence between man and wildlife.